What's up, guys? Adam Patterson here. I'm in a tank top, I guess, today. But I want to talk to you about character, your character, and why it's important if you're going to get into entrepreneurship or into sales. A lot of what I speak about, sales builds into entrepreneurship, which is why I always tie it in because no company works without sales. No company lasts without making sales. What's the skill that you need to get into first? And how character ties into it is first off, we need to define what character is. And character, I was told this when I was young, character is who you are and the actions that you do when no one is watching. And why is that important? When you're in sales or when you get into your adult life and you are working your job, you cannot be micromanaged at all times. Your boss is going to have other responsibilities and tasks they need to do. And as will you. You have your tasks, your responsibilities that you're going to be held accountable for. If you do not perform or at least show the activity that you are trying to perform, you will not last very long in sales. And the reason that I bring this up is when you don't need to be micromanaged. Your boss actually is going to enjoy you more. And if you take your experience from sales or whatever, or you want to get into entrepreneurship, no one is going to be watching over your shoulder. I don't have a boss. I have a fiance who is my boss when she's home, but I do not have a boss. I own this company, I own my processes, and I don't have anyone to answer to if things don't go the way that I want them to go. It's just me looking myself in the mirror. And you have to very much so be cognizant of what you do in your day to day. And if you aren't, you're not going to be very successful. If you just can't keep track of your time, if you can't keep yourself focused, if you can't keep yourself on task, and if you can't progress forward, your business is going to fail. Character, who you are and what you do when no one is looking. You are your own boss. You are watching yourself. If you are someone who is lazy by nature, if you are someone who just would prefer not to work and you just want to do nothing, you want to rot on the couch like a vegetable, you're not going to make it in business. You have to be able to steady yourself, sit at a desk, and do the tasks that you know will pay off, or you don't know if they will pay off because you're just getting started if you're at zero. If you're at zero, you just have to have a strong faith and belief that the tasks that you choose to do are going to take you where you want to go. And you're going to have to discipline yourself to sit there and do those tasks when they're not actually proving out. I started this company in the very beginning of February, and I did not land a customer until the very end of February. And I knew the entire length of the way that I was doing the correct things, but I didn't make any quick progress. I didn't land a customer in the first few days. Typically, it takes about 3 months to land a customer. I landed one from the day that I started to the last day of the month, and I landed them on the very last day of the month in February. And I did not start in the beginning of February. You just need to know the correct tasks, and you need to be disciplined enough to sit down and work. If you don't have the character to where you can actually be responsible for yourself, hold yourself accountable, and track yourself, manage yourself, you're not going to make it in entrepreneurship. You need to develop character first. You need to work on your character and who you are as a person, who you are intrinsically. You need to change who you are. Just to give you a little background on myself, when I grew up in high school, I did not do a lot of work. I was an okay student. I had made honor roll maybe once, which was like a 90 average in high school. But before that, I was never on honor roll. I had like an 88 average GPA in high school. I don't know what that comes out to in the threes or whatever. But I wasn't a strong student by any means. And it was mostly just because I was lazy. I didn't do homework. I did really well on tests. And then depending on the class, I would fall asleep in class. I put music in. I would like wire it up my freaking like back of my sweatshirt, wrap it around my ear, and then put it in. I would just listen to music all day. I would stare out a window. I wouldn't pay any attention. That was a bad sign of character. And that was when people were watching me. That's when I had teachers and everything, like people who were responsible for making me do well, having me do well, people who were responsible for my education, but I didn't want to be responsible for it. Therefore, I didn't do well. My first semester of college, I put up a 2.3 GPA. I was skipping classes because you don't have anybody watching you. Your roommates can't force you to go to class if you don't want to. Your parents aren't there. And I just skipped class. I didn't study for tests and I didn't do a lot of homework. I put up a 2.3 GPA in my first semester of college, and that is terrible. And that was my character at the time. And it just changed things around. You got to change yourself. You need to work on your character first. You need to make sure that you have a strong work ethic, and you just need to make sure that you are doing the correct things day in and day out to make yourself succeed. Work on your character first. If you don't know how to develop character, read some books, find some YouTube videos on it, but self educate yourself on how to develop yourself into the person that you want to be. Study successful people, study their habits, learn about what they did to get there, learn about how they became themselves, and learn about how they overcame struggles. Everybody didn't start off as super successful people. Everybody starts off in the same seat for the most part. And you have to build yourself into what you want to become or who you are. And with that, things change. That's what I had for you. Focus on your character first, and the rest will follow. But if you enjoyed this, if you thought it was valuable, of course, leave a like below. I would appreciate it. Leave a comment below if you found what you found valuable, or if you didn't find it valuable at all, just let me know why. I would appreciate that as well, because I'm always looking for feedback. And then, of course, subscribe to get new tips, topics, and other things that come out of my mouth. And then, of course, you'll follow along for the daily vlog series of me building my company. And hopefully you gain something out of that that's valuable through the experience and seeing it through my perception. But thank you guys. I'll see you again.